Hello, happy Wednesday. I see that y'all got the memo that I tend to spit a lot when I talk. Lisa, you want to sit? Not intentionally. All right, welcome everybody, everyone online. Thank you for being here. Happy Wednesday. We like to call this Game Day. Game Day is the opportunity for us as leadership to pour as much value into you all as possible. This month is Value Month. We are focusing on not just the value we provide you, but what is your value to the market? What is your value as a human? What is your value as your unique value proposition? So let's get started. What does that mean, Toddy?
Well, the luau, as you may have seen yesterday, we had some fabulous demonstrators.
Luau.
Yes.
Can we see it again? No.
My hips hurt.
Anyway, the luau is next Thursday, and just so you know, is anybody planning to go? Okay, are all of you signed up? So, okay, that's really good. So, if you could go on and scan this QR code and vote, we are doing agent voted awards, and they're really funny, they're goofy. There might be one that's called like the Shane Horn Hair Award. So if you want to go on and vote, we'll tally up the votes and see who is the most voted for in each category by all of you, and then you will get an award at the luau. So the luau is next Thursday from 4 to 7. You can bring your family. It is not during the team meeting or anything like that, so just make sure that if you're planning to come, that you're coming at a different time than you would usually show up here. I'm gonna talk about it again in 5 minutes.
And Jason was disappointed about his not being the hair that you referenced in that award. Sorry.
I work hard on this.
Exactly.
On point.
All right, so those of you, thank you for that. So those of you,
How did you got to that screen?
I have no idea, yeah. See, this is the value of having a tech director right here in the office.
Ready to go.
My VCR at home still blinking 12. So, value.
Mine too.
Value. Again, it all starts with your belief system. This is the Y4C2Ts that Gary Keller created through his ALC, meaning this is a company built by realtors, for realtors. This is the belief system that they came up with. It is important. We're going to talk about later. Win-win or no deal, integrity, always do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results for people. So it's just important to know that you're with a company who has a high standard of values. Thanks. Hey, let's give Karina a round of applause. Oh, I thought for sure you'd sneak in late because you don't like the attention.
I'm hiding by the pillar.
So those of you who don't know, what we do every week is a play of the week. And it can be anything regarding work. It can be something they do special for family, something they do special for teammates, something they do special in the community, because it's important that you all know who you're working with, because there's some very impressive people. When I learned the group of people that were here, I decided I would drive 40 minutes a day to and fro to be with this group. And I want everyone to know it. And also, we love doing this so that your sphere learns these things about you. Karina, she recently got an incredible review. You can read it online. She's not going to want me to read it all, but it was an unsolicited review for someone else who's done a role for like hers for 45 years. And it was very impressive stuff. And she also leads the admin masterminds. And the other day at the barbecue, she was one of the last still picking stuff up, putting stuff away, unsolicited. So you got a great review from us on that one. Way to go. Working? Yes!
I'll have to turn it on.
No comment. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for Caitlin. 2 weeks ago. We did not have a team meeting last week, so therefore we have two recognize. And she is the corporate chief of staff for commercial realtor, North Star Commercial, and she's played a pivotal role with Scott building this opportunity into one of what we believe is one of the best in the area. And she recently finished the half marathon, Grandma's half marathon. She actually got there before Grandma. So way to go, that's pretty awesome. And if you recognize something that you're seeing your fellow realtors do, your fellow admin do, let us know so we can also promote them to the sphere. Oh, we can't do that yet. Is she here?
Yeah.
Where?
She's talking to Linda.
Oh, she's right there. All right, should we do the walk? Oh, we'll do the walk-up song after. Let's see. As you all know, we had news that our OP, our leader, is now the regional director. So let's bring her up.
I can only imagine what the walk-up song is.
And you've already walked up.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. This is a question and an answer thing?
Well,
What are we doing here?
we just figured that believe it or not, she doesn't like the spotlight. However, we just thought if there's anything y'all are curious about, we just want your perspective on how it's going so far and what do you think this means for all of us?
I think it means awesome things for KWPR. One, the regional office is going to be downstairs on the first floor. So I will still be here every day, just not in the hallways, like Jamie said, saying stupid stuff, running into you in the hallway, that's if you watch the video. Many of you know it's now announced, so I can share Taylor Fisher, who was our MCA for 9 years. He's going to be my right-hand guy in a regional operations manager role. The current gal resigned back in June, but she's staying on until September 1 to help us get our feet under us because we are completely upside down and backwards right now. But it's going great. Today's day 3. And I think that from the perspective of how we win, is Taylor and I will be responsible for all of the speakers that fly into town. And if you've been at KW for a while, you know that the training in the region used to be really good, and it just for the last couple of years, it just hasn't been. And the camaraderie has lacked a little bit in terms of value and getting all the offices together, getting the ALC members together for ALC Clinic again in person. And so we're going to have direct influence on that, which just will then trickle down to you, especially then when those speakers fly into town from other parts of the country. A lot of them are in Gary Keller's Top 100 group, which Jason Herkiep and I know because we're a part of that. Wouldn't you know, they'll just magically show up here to have an ALC or do a little guest speaking right here when they come into town for those other trainings. So I think there's going to be a lot of really great things in store for us. Some of you have asked, am I still going to remain the operating principal? Yes, I am. I am going to step back a little bit on some of the duties that I do to allow your leaders to just step into their role a little bit more. And as some of them have said, just let us fail. Just let us fail our way forward. We got this. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Awesome. So I'm going to leverage them a little bit more and step out of some of the meetings that I've been a part of. And then some of you have asked about HHG and how that is going to work too. I'm stepping back on a lot of stuff there. Just stuff that I did behind the scenes, forecasting numbers, budgeting, credit card bills, stuff like that. And still going to do the agent coaching and the operations coaching there. So even working from home on Monday was magical. I got so much done. And it's not that I don't love those interruptions at my desk, I can just get so much more done. So I think just being able to be more purposeful with my time will also help KWPR in general too. So yeah.
Awesome.
So,
real quick before we move forward, this is the first team meeting since Emily got married. Emily, way to go. There are 3 rings in relationships, right? There's this is my father-in-law used to tell me, there's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, then the suffer ring. And also, talking about agents that do extra stuff, Mary came with gifts. She's been stalking us. All right, so let's bring up our awesome poker.
information, I put my toes in the sand. What do you think?
Can I come?
No, I take plenty of those, yeah, I take plenty of those. But believe it or not, I'm standing in front of you today and I'm not talking about forms and I am not talking about the class action lawsuit. Breath of fresh air.
Come Friday.
This is fallout though from the class action lawsuit. You guys have all received this in your email inbox. You very likely said, this is over my head, I'm not totally understanding what this is, what the heck is going on? I actually won't know fully what's going on until I attend a seminar at the St. Paul Area Association of Realtors tomorrow. So I'll have more information, I'll be able to give it to you, but I'll have to give it to you pretty quickly. What I can say, and it has been a really great experience and is good fortune I think for you, I have been volunteering at SPAR for several years and they had asked me to chair the professionalism committee. And with that, you, when you're a chair of a committee, you get a seat at the board of directors. So I have been in on the board of directors meetings at SPAR the past couple of months, just sitting like a quiet little mouse on the wall and hearing and listening. The board of directors of the St. Paul Area Association of Realtors is suggesting to you that you no longer need to have a realtor membership in order to have access to Northstar MLS. They are decoupling that association, that partnership, association isn't quite the right word, they're decoupling it as fallout from the class action lawsuit. They actually don't want to do it, they really don't want to do it, but they recognize they don't want to be behind the game, they want to be in front of it. So in order to do this decoupling, they actually need to send the vote out to all of you, and you'll be getting it, and I'll get to it here, but they need to send, they'll be sending it out next week, August 14th through 16th. And we encourage you to vote, and you'll be curious, what does Melissa think we should vote? And Melissa says, you should vote yes, because it's inevitable. We think the change is coming. I'll have more information tomorrow, and I'll share more with you when I have it, but I can see a lot of kind of perplexed, confused eyes, and I absolutely understand that. What's important to me though is there's two things that you'll vote on. One is just cleanup of their bylaws. It's literally just like, oh, you know, this was misspelled and this is now kind of outdated. So yes, absolutely vote yes to that. The second question will be related to this decoupling, and they need a quorum. They really do need all of you to take the time, read the material, and actually cast your ballot. So, what does it mean to be a realtor member? The National Association of Realtors is one of the oldest and one of the largest trade associations in the entire US. And being a proud realtor member is something that we have done, all of us, in our career for a very long time. So the idea of no longer being a realtor with the R may be a little sentimental to you, it maybe won't sound right. I will remain a realtor, member. And we'll have to vote on some things and we'll have to decide what we're going to do here as the ownership of the brokerage that you employ at. But I will remain a realtor. I see very high value in it. I think ultimately you'll see some cost benefits to also being a realtor member because they're just gonna sort of allocate out the costs even though there's some changes. But as you guys know, they offer free continuing education classes, they offer free networking and social events, they do a ton of advocacy. They really are in favor of private property rights. They really are in favor of the realtor and the hard work that we do and protecting the money that we earn. So they advocate for us as a part of your real estate fees. The question then you are, I'm certain, asking is, can anyone then have access to the MLS if you don't have to be a realtor? No. You can only have access to the MLS if you hold your real estate license with the Department of Commerce or if you are some sort of affiliated member like an appraiser. When might this change become effective? So they're gonna send this out for vote next week, but it's gonna take a while to actually make the change because Northstar MLS has to first make their rule changes. So SPAR is just doing this in anticipation that Northstar MLS, who got the hugest slap on the wrist from the class action lawsuit because they were putting out these co-op payouts, is gonna say, we need to decouple from you. So it'll be a little while, it's not gonna happen overnight. Does this mean that you no longer have to be a realtor member? And yes, that actually does. And as I mentioned, we will work through policy considerations here at KWPR. Do you have to vote on this? No. Some of you will have really strong opinions. I happen to know someone on HHG is like, I can't wait to disassociate from this association. And I'm just saying it because I think a lot of you probably have felt that way or have thought that. You are entitled to vote however you wish, but I do encourage you to vote. I really would like you to be able to express your opinion. So, if you have very specific questions, I'm not positive I'll be able to answer them. I'll be able to answer them better tomorrow. But there is, and this is in the emails you've been receiving, there is a specific email address at SPAR that you can email to. You can submit your questions to bylaws@spar.com. There's also a frequently asked questions on the SPAR page. Like I mentioned, I am going to a broker seminar tomorrow in the morning, and I'll distribute what I learn. Also for you, if you can on your calendar put August 13th, either from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning or 2 to 3 in the afternoon. The first one is virtual and the second is in person. So if you'd like to learn more about this before you cast your ballot between the 14th to the 16th, you can utilize those two options through SPAR next week. And that's it. What kinds of questions do you have? Yes.
So still just holding your license but not being a realtor, you can do everything that an agent does, right? Like buyers, sellers, etc.
You can.
Okay.
And it is to be determined if you can do that here at KWPR, but you as a licensed realtor can. Pretty fascinating, right? You're speechless.
Yeah, that's a little ambiguous.
It is ambiguous, but I can assure you, not only is the August 17th change, but this will be one of those years, and this will be one of those changes that when we go forward 20 years, back in 1993, when we initiated buyer representation, and back in, 1992, when we initiated, MLS online or whatever it was, this will be one of those years. Disassociating a realtor membership with access to to MLS is monumental.
You're gonna have it, but I also believe that with the Realtor Association in general is going to be doing more of those advertising, and there's gonna be a lot of pitting agents against agents because of that reason when you're in your competition with listing appointments. I spent years working on fighting those property taxes with the Realtor Association of keeping in rental property taxed as a house, whether it's for income or not, because they used to be, the property taxes used to be 3 times higher on rental property, non-owner occupied property than occupied. So I know the benefit of the Realtor Association, and I just wonder if that's gonna have a big impact with, when you go in your listing presentation, I know the people that are going to be part of the Realtor Association will definitely bring that up as something against the others.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that, and Keller Williams has values. We have a value statement, and the Association of Realtors has a code of ethics. And if we don't have value statements and we don't have to adhere to the code of ethics, you might just be working with people who you don't really want to be working with. So I do believe in the Realtor Association. I believe in the benefits, and hopefully you will too. But I will vote yes, that I do agree they should have permission to decouple.
Yeah.
Always exciting to follow that case. Yeah, I'm not even gonna comment on that. Let's talk a little bit, we literally decoupled Melissa from the NAR settlement discussions today, but we do have some upcoming classes that I wanted to point out. Next week is Mega Agent Camp, so there aren't any scheduled, but following that, the last part of August, you'll see we have classes the 23rd, 24th, 26th, 28th, and the 28th again. So we'd love to have you there. We do also have one this week on Friday, so super excited to have you there if you haven't been there. You need to be there. Let me just be clear. You need to be at one of these classes to understand the changes that are going on. And we're excited to have you there. I've been to almost every single one of them, except for one in Red Wing. And I can tell you that the work that Melissa has put into this to make it so that you can make this transition as easy and as clear as possible is amazing. So thank you, Melissa. The work you've done. And we were so excited. I mean, we brought this all to all of our offices outstate to make sure that it's there. So now it's just a matter of folks here getting you all connected. And there's a number of times that you can see, this is posted as well on our Facebook group and stuff like that, so you can see that. But we do really, you need to be here. You need to be here. So don't miss it. Pick a time that works for you and we'll see you then. And that's exciting and fun. Yay. Toddy.
Speaking of exciting and fun.
I waited for you to be reading your phone.
It was Olivia, actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
What did I do? Can I have one? He said he was waiting for me to read my phone. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so if you haven't heard of the KWPR Luau, it is actually happening next Thursday. So I want you to really think of this as, our award ceremony in the springish, winterish is a big deal. And this is also a big deal. It's a big time to get your family together and involved, and we just want to make sure that your family feels involved with what you do too, because as we talked about at Second Stretch, they're probably part of your big why. So please come, it's going to be really fun, and there's going to be food. It's a knockoff luau, there's going to be pulled pork and fun things, and just it'll be a good time. Come on. As a reminder, on August 29th, the KWPR Carnival is happening, and we have a decent amount of you signed up, but there's still time to get signed up, and there's smart plans, marketing, everything that you need to plug and play. You can just plug and play, so it's really nice. Okay, now, we all know and are so excited to raise $8,000 so that Olivia will hold our dogs. And it's happening, we're gonna do it. So, we don't have a huge timeline, so we're gonna need to really, feel that giving spirit and step up. Our goal is to raise $8,000 by August 16th. We're gonna give you the whole time through the KWPR Luau, which at the KWPR Luau, there's gonna be auction items, which trust me, you're gonna want some of them. One of them may or may not involve Jamie. Anyway, ways, maybe doesn't fully know yet.
That's my life. Make sure you fill your dog full of lots of things.
Big meal.
Don't shame them. I already told you I'm wearing a hazmat suit, so we're good.
Anyway, ways to donate. You can write a check to KWPR or to KW Cares. If you write to KWPR, please just put in the memo that it's for KW Cares. You can let us know via email that you would like it to be added to your office invoice with the amount that you would like to donate. You can go on and donate to kwcares.org, and we just need a screenshot or a receipt of the amount that you've donated. And if you have any questions, you can email me or Grace, who you'll meet. So this is gonna be really fun. We're having mystery boxes, auctions, at where?
The luau.
Luau. Good. Okay, one other really fun thing that we have coming is Tyler. I know you guys got to see him via social media month, which I think was last month. Anyway, he is coming, if we can get 8 people signed up, from August 19th to the 21st. It's 7:25, and you get a whole bunch of bulk content and things. He made this super quick reel that's 1 minute and 11 seconds for us to watch. So Jamie, could you please click play? Just click it.
There.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems that real estate agents end up facing is they're like, I don't know what to post. Well, one of the easiest things to post is B-roll videos. Having footage of you just doing the job or interacting with the environment and living the lifestyle that you love so much about the community that you live in, that's a pretty solid way to show it consistently. I've had people walk across the street, I've had people walk across the favorite restaurant, go into their favorite boutiques. We can take this B-roll any direction that you want in a relatively short amount of time. Now, this is a really good package for somebody that is already utilizing social media, that's comfortable with social media. Those are the people that are gonna get the most out of this. Now, if you don't have much of a social media presence and you want to have a social media presence, then check out my intro video page. The intro videos are the most evergreen type of content that we can create, and we can intentionally create you an intro video that you can pin on the top of your profile and then be able to at least have something for when somebody shows up on your profile and wants to work with you, and you can tell them, start here.
So, he's coming and it'll be really a great thing if you're already involved in social media or not. I'll post the sign up link again on Facebook, but all the links that he just mentioned will be in the Google form. You can sign up. Right now we have 3 people signed up, I think Emily, Brooke Camp, and Ryan Custodio. So, definitely a lot of value and we hope that you want to do it. Okay.
The biggest problems that real estate agents end up in.
Okay.
Not one video of doing the hula.
I mean, if you wanted to get a hula video, that's how
All right,
you.
we can supply that.
Yeah. Anyway, our weekend hours, we have an update. So, starting on September 1st, we will be closed on Sundays. And then from August 10th to August 25th, Saturdays and Sundays will be covered from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then next weekend, the 17th to the 18th, the front desk will be covered remote. So, Olivia and Melissa had a great idea of if you would like ad edit access and you qualify via what is listed on our policy, that's something that can be done if you would like that.
Yes. Where this came from, just to give you a little context to it, we've had the weekend staff kind of track their what they've been doing on a every weekend basis, and sometimes the phone won't even ring on Sunday, and they might get one email. And so it just financially doesn't make sense for us, with all due, I'm just being super transparent. And Trinity is going back to college, so we're losing some access there, so that's why the weekend desk will, on the 17th and 18th, Cami, who used to work here for several years, is covering for us from Florida. And so we're doing everything we can to make it through to September 1st, but it just doesn't make any sense for us to be open. Even on Saturdays, they'll get maybe 2 to 3 calls and 5 emails. So if you qualify, do you happen to know the number off the top of your head? I think if you do above 6 million in volume, we can give you ad edit access on the MLS so that you can change your statuses depending, or your price changes or what have you. We talked in huddle this morning about, well, is there a way, that until we get a hold of this, that we can have some, maybe some coverage from home once we are closed. But we're not exactly sure exactly how that's gonna look, but just thank you for your patience and working with us. Yes.
If we have a transaction coordinator, will she have the ability to add edit?
Correct.
She does have the ability
But does
to add edit
here
for
work
you.
good?
And she's not available 7 days a week, so
thank
let's
you.
clarify. She doesn't work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
I appreciate you so much right now.
Well, she does, but she shouldn't.
Yeah, well, she doesn't, and yes, she works a lot, she shouldn't, so, yes. Any
Thank
questions on that? Oh, sure. Melissa found the policy. Oh, you expect me to read that?
Here, I've got my glasses.
We can send it out too.
Someone who sells at least 20 houses a year. So there you go. If you're
20
close.
20 houses in their career.
Oh, in their career. Oh, okay.
And last but definitely not least, Grace.
Yay,
She is our new marketing coordinator and we're so excited to have her. She really loves being up here.
She loved the luau video.
She did, yeah, that I made her be in. She was great. So there's a couple things about Grace. She went to school for business management and marketing at Grand Canyon University. She loves to travel. She loves country concerts, and her dogs, I can't say it. What are their names?
Chablis and Izzy.
Chablis and Izzy. Named after the wine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she is super excited to make reels and get to know everyone at KWPR. And then after I asked her, I said, anything else? And she said, well, yeah, a lot of other things too. So we're so excited to have Grace. She will have a marketing menu that will be up and running shortly, but we're gonna let her get her feet under her a little bit, tentatively planning for September 1st. She's had a lot of people come and ask about that, so just so that you know, that's our plan. So thank you.
right, look, I don't even have to say anything. He's on his way. Come on down.
Got a sneak peek there.
We got our good friends Brian and Drake talking about NAF. NAF.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
There we
There
go.
we go. All right, so some of this is gonna be fairly basic, but for newer agents, maybe not. And I wanna tie this into the new purchase agreement starting August 17th. All right, so seller paid closing costs, or IPCs. For you've got conventional, FHA, and VA. For conventional loans, if you're putting down less than 10%, the maximum a buyer can ask a seller to pay is 3%. If you put over 10% down to 25, you can ask for 6%. I maybe have done that once ever, for a conventional loan, they get 6%. If you actually put over 25% down, you can ask for 9%. I've never seen it done. Because you've got all these funds, you're not gonna ask the sellers to pay, probably. All right, FHAs, all purchases, you can ask for 6% in seller paid closing costs. All right, and VA, it's 4% is a good number. There's some things that a veteran can't pay, but 4% in seller paid closing costs. All right, so the president of NAF called Fannie and Freddie directly just to confirm. And so if there's verbiage in a purchase agreement that the seller is going to pay a portion of the buyer's agent commission, and it's in there, it's going to be considered part of those seller paid closing costs. Most of our conventional loans, if they put more than 10% down, they can go higher, but most of our conventional loans, the max we can ask for is 3%, all right? So, tying it in, let's say you've got a situation where a seller says, we're not paying anything, all right? Then you're working with your buyer, well, we'll ask them to pay for it, okay? That's gonna go here. I think, I don't know if this is a Minnesota form, ours might be 405. But you're putting, you've got a contract 2.7, let's say, all right? And this is a conventional loan. You put 2.7 in here, you're asking the seller to pay that, all right? If they agree, that's fine. But then on line 157, the seller paid closing cost line, where you're asking the seller to pay, the maximum you can put there is 0.3, because that, now it's identified, it's a buyer cost. We identified that the seller's paying it. That's part of the 3%. Okay, so in the seller paid closing cost section, they can only add another 0.3. All right, so does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you probably knew that anyhow,
can.
but I just wanted to,
If you're asking for closing costs, you have to make sure you're within the boundaries with this.
in the maximum, correct.
Brian, could you go back 2 slides to that opening chart?
Maybe.
Thank you.
Could you show the president's communication email again?
So, and Karina, I think you had sent me something, FHA is also, okay, so if it's standard in your community, or in your area, which it is, that the seller, it was always standard, the seller was paying the buyer agent commission. If it's standard, Fannie and Freddie, and I think FHA are saying, then we're fine, we're not counting that as a seller paid part of the 3%, let's say. But if it's identified in there that it's a buyer's cost, now it is identified and it does count as part of the 3% in seller paid closing costs.
How are they gonna prove that it's standard after we don't have it published anymore?
All right, so I believe you're reaching out to the selling agent, hey, how much are you paying? Well, we'll pay 2.7, but it's now not in the purchase agreement.
Right. That's on a separate document between brokers. Yeah.
So it doesn't count as the three, so the Fannie, Freddie, FHA say, yep, you can pay the 2.7 and you can pay an additional 3%. But if the 2.7 is in the purchase agreement, that's part of the 3%.
None of this will be communicated to the appraiser. They're not gonna say, well, they're giving them closing costs and they're giving them this. The closing cost is the only thing the appraiser would see, not the commissions.
Correct, because it's not the purchase agreement.
part of
So they're only getting the purchase agreement with the purchase price and any seller concessions. They love that question.
I like a lot of things, there's gonna be an adjustment period, obviously, the lender, the source banks, they're gonna want to do the loans. They're gonna want all this to work, so we'll just help you get through the hurdles until then.
And another issue that's, I've heard some people talking about with associations and the insurance, Drake has got some good info on that.
So I'm not gonna cover much of this information, but I did want to talk about our upcoming training coming August 20th, it's on a Tuesday. Come to St. Louis Park for some lunch to learn about what these changes are, how they're impacting your deals, and how you can avoid any issues when you're under contract and you're dealing with a condo. And so also you can learn here how to ensure that these condos are eligible for financing, whether it's, you know, Fannie, Freddie, or FHA that you commonly see. So that's important. You know, obviously we're the experts in that regard, and we'll make sure that, you know, they are eligible for financing in general, but it's nice to have that information so that you guys aren't wasting your time when, you know, you're showing houses and, you know, driving out to different properties. So it's gonna be an awesome class. We have great people coming. Eric, if you're familiar with Eric Knight from the insurance shop, he'll be there talking about the insurance side of things. And then we have our SVP of condos, Kim Jones, she'll be there too. So we have a good group, a lot of experts that will be talking about this at a, you know, so you'll get some good information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to RSVP right now, we'll take some time here to, you know, scan that QR code, but I will be posting that in the Facebook group too, so.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You guys always keep it interesting.
Wow.
You got the dinger.
That
What we got going
joke
on?
does not rate, sir.
Okay, value on this slide is over. Actually, I was told I'd never had a walk-up song, so. This one over It's Raining Men.
Is it raining?
Hallelujah. So, okay, as you all know, this, as we talk about, this is Value Month, and we'll get into it. Go ahead and flip her, Jay. Nice. So this is a quote from Gary Keller at Family Reunion just this year. Again, this is pre-settlement. If you ask me what should change in the industry more than anything else, it's that every one of you leave here and for the rest of your life, when you meet a potential buyer, you pull out your value proposition, your service plan, and you pull out a buyer agency agreement. And you go through it and you explain how you work and how you get paid. And we're here to help with part of that today. As we see here, there's two aspects of what is your value. There's two aspects of it. One is the value of using a realtor. That's one column, so to speak. And at the certification classes, Melissa does a great job, she shares this. There's so many ways that we have to do more and more, a better job, more and more of making sure they understand that they, first of all, that they need a realtor, let alone you. If they don't think they need a realtor, they're not gonna listen to your value proposition because it's just gonna be in the background. It'll be all Greek, right, Lance? He likes the spotlight, so okay. But your unique value to them as your realtor is what we're going to focus on today.
So when we talk about your value proposition, it's a unique, memorable story and persuasive statement that expresses the true value of working with you. And if you went to a family reunion last year, you might remember that our good friend Tony Robbins did a great presentation. And during his presentation, one of the things I thought was really interesting is he brought up an agent, and he asked this agent to discuss their value proposition. And that agent, he was excited, he was up there, man, he's in front of all the Keller Williams basically, and he goes,
I've been a realtor for 72 years, I sell 7,000 million homes, and I net something like $6 billion a year. As a result, you should trust my knowledge and experience.
And Anthony, Tony, with his giant, big old hands, the banana fingers that guy has, pokes him right in the chest and says, this is nothing to do with you. I want to hear your value proposition from right here. I want to hear it from your heart. Is that what you would tell your daughter if you were asking her for her business? And the guy's like, no. And when we talk about that, again, a unique, memorable story and persuasive statement. This is about touching the person, not the facts. It addresses the specific and special needs of the buyers and sellers in your market. And finally, it states what you do for your client to earn the commission you have. Once you've made that statement, it holds you accountable to your standards. At the end of the day, you having a value statement is about your standards for yourself. And the conversation that Jamie and I are going to talk about today really comes from Start With Why by Simon Sinek, if you're not familiar with it. It is a great TED Talk. If you've never heard it, you can see it right here. You can click on that. It's fantastic. It's about 20 minutes. But it's a fantastic discussion about starting with why. Jamie, just behind you, if you don't mind. There's a book. Yeah, you can hold it up. It's pretty. It looks like that. It's just a book. It's completely anonymous.
I clicked on it. That's what happened.
It just shows right up.
Yeah.
So,
it works.
want to be clear, it's a real thing. You can get it. And with that, Jamie's going to talk a little bit about the Golden Circle.
Yeah, well, first of all, leadership team, I'm going to put you on the spot. We are crystal clear on our values. Are you ready?
Culture, integrity, impact, growth. Keller Williams, we take the oath.
Do the hokey pokey.
Yeah, let me add all that stuff. So it's important for us to be crystal clear on our boundaries, what we are about. So this is Simon Sinek's Golden Circle. First of all, on this chart, this is a chart of your business if you're not making any calls, not building your database. That's what this chart is, so don't mind that chart. But this chart, this is the Golden Circle. So generally what we like to do, everybody, a lot of businesses, they start with the what they do, how they do it, then why they do it, if they get this far.
So that might be something like this. Jamie, what do you do for a living?
I'm a realtor.
That's what you do, right? Pretty simple. And how often is that the end of the conversation? Almost every time, right? Or then maybe it follows up.
Ask me again.
Jamie, what do you do?
I love what I do because I help people find ways to live a more inspired life.
Wow. What is that?
Yeah,
Tell me more about that.
I'm a realtor.
Oh, wow. Tell me more about that.
See, that helped me, I mean, that's kind of a corny way of doing it. However, it unlocks the opportunity for them to start hearing this. So as you see, the what you do, this is the products or service, in our case service. The how you do what you do is how we set ourselves apart from everybody else. And the why, our purpose, our beliefs, why our company exists. So traditionally, this is how we tell people about our business. However, Simon says, starting with your why, you go the opposite direction. You start with why. Why? Because it's actually science, brain science. The neocortex, that is this region. This is where we have logic and such, analytical thought. Yet, the limbic system is right here. And what that is, it helps our behavior and decision making. You ever have a moment where like, man, you know what, it makes sense, but it just doesn't feel right? This is the one rejecting. This is saying yes. This is saying hold it right there, buddy. Right? And so it's important for us to unlock the why. That could go into a long class. In fact, we're gonna have a class on this because in order to get a true value proposition, it's gonna take a little bit more in depth. And we'll go from there, but maybe I'll even share something. Finding your why, what drives you to be a realtor? When Simon does this with his clients, what he does is two things. He says, I want you to think about the greatest day in your real estate career. That's part of what drives you, because it's going to tell you a story on why, on those difficult days, why am I getting up today to do this again? It's what drives you. Also, God bless you. God bless you. One more.
Thank you. I'm very blessed.
Yep. Good things come in threes. You know, as far as what difference you want to make in the lives of other people. So he also asks people, what's their fondest memory as a child, which is interesting. And that's what we can go into, how that combines. Maybe I'll say one off the top of my head. I don't know, feeling kind of led that way, maybe I will. But, so what he does is he'll say, hey, what's your biggest, thing about what you do right now? In my case, it would be I love pouring into people and just helping them get what they want in life. Then he'd go into saying, well, tell me about some early formative things that might have led to that. And just so you know, so this is how it would go for me. Well, so if you were to come to our office, gee, why are you doing this role? Why are you doing this here? Well, to tell you the truth, I grew up with a sister with developmental disabilities, and I also had a brother who was all state and everything, and a National Honor Society student. I got to watch both how my brother was treated in society compared to my sister, who a lot of people would knock over her stuff, call her retard, and all those kinds of things. It was awful to see. However, I was also blessed to be able to see how my parents, who at that time, most people would take that child and put them in a home, which, fine, I don't mind anyone doing that, and they're doing what they believe is best for them. But my parents said, no, we're gonna take these lumps because it's like living with an alcoholic in her case. Always explosive. Never know when it's gonna explode, the emotions, love her to death. And what did that teach me? It taught me that she's of equal value to anyone else, right? So when I tell you my why, it's like, you know what? I love to look at the value of every person I come across. And in our home growing up too, we focused on what we could do in athletics to be the best we could. That was our distraction. Well, I like to take those principles and put them in your business and help you guys get what you want in life while knowing how vital and important you are. So, right? That's a lot different than saying, I just love helping you guys, you're cool. So, we'll do that in a class where we can drill deeper, and you're gonna be able to really help people buy into who you are. I will go into this too, Dr. Martin. I'm feeling it, brother. Here we go. So,
going off script, kids.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the I Have a Dream speech. It was I have a dream, not I have a plan. He did not start with the what or the how, it was why, right? So in short, his why was to match what he believed were God's laws with the laws of man. Civil rights was the opportunity for him to do that. He was able to get 250,000 people in DC without internet in 1960, without the internet, pigeons flying out maybe, the invites, but no, but it was his belief, his firm belief, people bought into, that led to other people believing in the same thing and wanting to make sure as many people showed up there as possible, and they did. All because of I believe. So, thanks, I had to go on that one. Starting with believe, then you've got clients for life. Not just because you did a great job for them, they're believing what you're selling. So, we start with the why. What are you passionate about with real estate? Move on to the how. What's unique about your approach and method? Now that can be what we offer here at Keller Williams as well. You also have a leadership team that's on your team. You know, when you go to a listing appointment, how many agents can say, yeah, I've got my own personal tech director that can help us not only navigate the internet for your listing, but we can maximize on AI to make sure that you are top priority on these searches. So, and then conclude with what? Once you do this, you've opened the door for them to absorb this. They're actually ready to absorb this. Here you go.
So, this one's really wordy, and this is where you start getting into why we have another class. We're gonna talk about this, because we wanted this to be an overview of writing your own value statement. But the Unity Homes team, a dedicated group of experienced solo agents, Keller Williams Realty, provides unparalleled service by leveraging each other's unique skills and experiences for a seamless and comprehensive real estate experience. You get into the why here very quickly, right? We embody the core values of culture, integrity, impact, and growth in every transaction, ensuring our clients receive the best possible service. Our motto, building bonds, creating homes, uniting hearts, reflects our commitment to fostering relationships, finding perfect homes, and bringing people together. At Unity Homes, we believe in the power of collaboration to turn dreams into reality. Now, when I talk about that kind of stuff, similar to Jamie's point, when I talk about what's valuable to me and my why, helping other people turn their dreams into reality is super important to me. That's what I like to do. And in my job, I can help other people turn their dreams into reality. And by extension, help you turn their dreams into reality. Because to Jamie's point, then tying it back to a point in my life, my dad was a dreamer. And none of those dreams of his ever came true. Maybe they did, I don't know. But it sure didn't seem like it. And I always thought, if I could do that, that's impactful. And watching someone succeed who tells me that they can't or didn't think they could do it or this thing isn't important, and seeing that happen is amazing. And I know each and every one of you have had an opportunity to work with a new buyer, their first time house, and the joy that that person has when they achieve that dream. That's amazing. And if you can connect to that and communicate what it is about it that you're so passionate about, selling your worth is simple. That's easy. But you've got to be able to talk to it, just like Tony Robbins said, it's got to come from here. I'm not talking about 2.7s or I'll do your paperwork for you or anything like that. I'm talking about helping you achieve your dream. How important are your dreams to you? Are you ready to give up on them yet? Because I'm not. And why would you ever be ready to give up on that dream? So help your customers figure out what that piece of you that makes you tick. Be vulnerable enough to share it. And then talk about what you're going to do about it. I'm going to help you find that house.
Hey, Jason, I'm going to speak for your dad. One of his dreams came true. So. Well, I think you're dreaming.
There you go. But we do want to talk about Q&A because I think, just as a sidelight, I think it's really important that you think about this stuff and how it's relevant to your business. And as we're talking about all of these commission changes and all of these things, it's more important than ever that you're able to communicate why someone should do business with you. Because if there was a person standing right in the lobby right now, went to the director of first impressions and said, hey, I want to buy a house. I tell you what I do, and I've joked about this with other groups, and I'll tell you the same thing for you guys. I will go out there, I will grab that person and say, hey, interview time, I got 90 agents in the room. What's your 2-minute pitch gonna be? And if you don't know what that is right now, you're already partly out of the game. We need you to be ready for that game because it happens all the time. You just don't realize it. And it happens when somebody says something to Jamie like, hey, what do you do for a living? I help people turn their dreams into reality. And that sounds corny, but I promise you, it's the thing that brings me the most value in my life, is helping other people achieve their dreams. Oh, versus, I help buy them a real estate agent, buy and sell houses, that's fun. it doesn't do the same thing. You want to be part of something bigger. We all want to be part of something bigger. And Dr. Seuss literally says everything the easiest way, right? Star-bellied Sneetches, there are them that have them and some that don't. And every one of the star-bellied Sneetches ends up going and buying the star, and then they go out and pay more money to get the star taken off, because everybody wants to be part of something bigger. And if what you're selling is your job, that's not that big. If what you're selling is your passion and your heart, people want to be part of that. They want to be on your journey. Who doesn't want to be part of something like that? And that's why our class is going to be so important, and this is just a preview for that. So it's a great book to start. I do recommend the video to get the idea of the golden circle, because it's really a great way to be able to articulate your value. But what else would you like to finish up with, Gene?
Well, just to further your point, stories tell. I mean, you can, I hate that, well, not the best word, but you can vomit out all the things you do. They're gonna remember the stories. I mean, that's why, for those of you of faith or just like to follow leadership principles, you know, in the Old Testament or New Testament was all about telling parables. The parables are what people remember, not the stats or the, they remember your story. What is your story? What drives you? Not only is that super important at this time, especially to be able to articulate both your value as a realtor and your value to them with what you bring to the table. Also, when some of these changes, and we're on top of it, we're going to stay on top of everything that is adjust. You're going to need to keep reminding yourself why you love doing this. Because there's going to be a lot more moments where you might go, you know what, I don't love this. And that's normal. That's normal. However, thankfully, again, that Olivia had the foresight to make sure when this was coming to put people and opportunities in place to make sure that we're ahead of this. We're already ahead of it. It's still murky. However, we're staying on top of it. We have over 200 realtors. We're going to keep finding out what's working for everybody. We're going to find out what dialogue is working, what they're seeing out there from splits, how they're getting through this on the different offers. And you're going to be live timing it and ahead of the market. So I'm excited for that, so thank you. And yeah, and value, again, if value is such a vague word, but it's what got me here. Having that value of really valuing every person, no matter what they offer in our family. When I met Olivia and I knew some of the agents here, like, this is what I grew up knowing. And I'm grateful and I love you all. And start thinking about your why, please, in a short little segment. You don't have to tell them you're a realtor. You change lives by making dreams come true. And they're like, what are you, at Disney? I am a little dual, but no, I'm a realtor. Oh, really? How does that work? Now you've got the floor to tell them everything that you can do for them. Anyone want to share anything? How long do I stay silent?
Bingo!
Time. Landed on time. Vote. And we stay around for the Big Agent Mastermind. Oh, that got held up on there. So in short, please, please, please get good at articulating what you do as a realtor, why they need realtors, why they need you, what resources you have that are above and beyond what your competitors have. And you're certified for these changes. How many other people can say that they are? Right? Thank you all. We love you all.